Hello there, dear friends, and welcome once again to the Relaxed Fantasy Review. Today, we are beginning a brand new series in the Brand New Player's Handbook. We're going to be talking about the subclasses that are found within. Subclasses are ways that you can specialize your class, one of the 12 classes in the game, into a much more precise application of the things you want to do with the class. They add a lot. In the old player's handbook, there were some that were incredibly strong and some that were not so strong. And in the new player's handbook, things have been a little more standardized. Now, all classes get their subclass at level 3. It used to be they'd get them at 1, 2, or 3, depending on who you were. And everyone has 4 of them. In the old one, there were some classes had 2, and some classes had like 8. So now everyone has 4. It's nice and even. We're going to start right at the beginning with the Barbarian and their classic subclass, the Berserker. The Berserker Barbarian sounds like a classic idea, just the frenzied rage of a powerful warrior. But in the old player's handbook, it actually wasn't that good. It was kind of widely panned by the DnD community because its classic features actually came with a cost. As strong as they were, they exhausted your character, making them very risky to use. Has the new player's handbook changed that? We'll get into the details of exactly how it's changed in just a moment. Before we do, though, I'd like to let you know, Relax Fantasy Review has memberships. For just $1 a month, you can support me here on YouTube and get a couple benefits. First, you get a little badge next to your name in the comments, letting folks know that you're a supporter. But also you get early access to my videos. I upload videos Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and I upload them a day early for members only. If that interests you, you can click the join button. It's just down there next to the subscribe button. I'd love to see you in the comments with your member badges. And if it doesn't interest you, that's totally fine too. Just watching the video, liking and subscribing, being here on the channel is a great way to support me. So thank you for watching my content here on YouTube. So, Barbarian subclasses. You get 4 features from the Berserker. The first one at level 3. The path of the Berserker is full of frenzy, and rightly so, your level 3 feature is called Frenzy. If you choose to use your Barbarian Reckless attack when you rage, you deal extra damage to the first target you hit during this turn. You determine the extra damage by rolling a number of d6s equal to your rage damage bonus. Now, this means that starting at level 3, you're going to be rolling 2d6 extra damage every turn, as long as you're reckless attacking and raging at the same time, which most barbarians are doing most combats. So you're just getting extra damage, and 2d6 is not bad. That's pretty good, actually, for a once per turn boost. And it goes up. By the end of the game, you're doing 2 or 3 or 4 extra damage as your rage damage, which means Frenzy's doing like 3 or 4 d6 extra. That's big, and so that's a good scaling. This is actually a really powerful feature, and I give it 10 out of 10. The next thing you get is at level 6, and it's called Mindless Rage. As long as your rage is active, you are immune to the charmed or frightened condition. It actually says in the feature that if you're charmed or frightened when you enter your rage, it cancels the feature out. That's powerful, because charm and fear come up depending on the campaign. They might come up a lot, they might come up a little, but when they do come up, they're both debilitating. If you're charmed, you can't attack the creature who's charmed you. If you're frightened, your attacks have disadvantage, and you can't move closer to the source of your fear. But this Berserker Barbarian just says, nah, man, if I'm frightened or charmed, I just have to rage, and I'm not frightened or charmed anymore. And then they can just go for it. And that's a really, really strong feature. I give it 10 out of 10 as well. The next thing you get is Retaliation. This is at level 10. And when you take damage from a creature that's within 5 feet of you, so this is melee only, you can use your reaction to make a melee attack against that same creature. Now, what's cool about this is that the Frenzy ability, it's, actually, wait, I'm wrong. The Frenzy ability just says on your turn, so you can't Frenzy with this. I apologize. That actually changes things a bit for me. I was going to say the Frenzy ability triggers once on a turn, like Sneak Attack. I'm wrong. I'm reading it right here. It's actually on your turn specifically, so no frenzying with Retaliation. However, you're the Barbarian. You're in melee combat. It is very likely you're getting hit in the face. Retaliation lets you weaponize your reaction. Weaponized reactions are great because it really makes the best of your action economy. You probably would be interested in taking something like Polearm Master as a Barbarian, which would weaponize your reaction, hitting people with opportunity attacks if they run from you. This just says, you're always going to have something to do with your reaction, because if no one's running up to you or away from you, they're probably hitting you. And you can just hit them back. A solid feature. I was going to give it 10 out of 10. I'm going to give it 9 out of 10 since it doesn't work with Frenzy. I'm not sure why I missed that part. But yeah, still really, really solid. Finally, at level 14, Intimidating Presence. This is a powerful one. As a bonus action, you can strike fear into other creatures with your presence. When you do so, you basically choose creatures of your choice in a 30-foot emanation. So it doesn't hit your allies, and you choose the creatures this affects. They must make a wisdom save, which is based on your strength modifier. Hello. If they fail, they have the frightened condition for a minute. They can repeat the save at the end of every turn to end the frightened condition as well. And you can do this once per long rest, or use a rage charge to do it again. Notice you don't have to be raging to do this. So this is actually a nice feature both in and out of combat. Yeah, you could just rage and then do it. That way you're frightening creatures with your bonus action on your second turn. Or you could do it on your first turn. And if you can frighten everybody, you might not even need to rage, because you are putting the fear of God into them. And then if your party can, get in a good position and make things better for them while the enemies are all frightened, you might not even need to rage. You probably still will. But the point is that you can do this in many different ways. It adds a tiny bit of tactical power to the Berserker, something I wasn't expecting to see when I first read it. I don't think that it's the most powerful feature. It does have repeated saves, and you only get one use per long rest unless you consume rages to do it again. But still, I'm giving it 9 out of 10. Overall, the Berserker has been much improved. No more exhaustion from using Frenzy. The extra attack comes in as a reaction-based attack instead of your standard bonus action attack that it used to have. And it gives you a fear effect later in the game, and immunity to fear and charm as well, which is pretty solid. I think overall the Berserker's fantastic. I think it's 10 out of 10. It's a very, very classic take on a Barbarian, and it's much, much welcome to see how improved it's been since the first Player's Handbook. Thumbs up, Wizards of the Coast. You did it. You fixed the Berserker. 10 out of 10. Very nice. This has been the Relaxed Fantasy Review. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe down below. Have a look for the join button down there, and keep your eyes peeled for more subclass reviews coming down the line soon. Have a good one, my friends.